You think this class is as good as everybody else does?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out. You know, I'd rather be ranked high late in the season than early in the season. So we'll see. But you know, four players that are really talented and I think really fit with the guys that we have here. And there's some unique talent. You know, Lou King is you know, really gifted scorer and can put the ball down for his size. Miles is really long and really reminded us of Chris Boucher a little bit. And I think as he gets stronger, you know, will be a very good player. Same way with Will. I think when he gets stronger, left-handed and really getting better and playing at Oak Hill will really help him. And then Bol is really unique. You know, just his size, his ability to run, ability to shoot threes. You know, I think him watching film of Chris Boucher really made him comfortable with our style and what he could possibly do for us, how we could possibly play him. You know, he is who he is. We don't want to change him. He's someone that, you know, I think can go inside and out and, you know, cover a lot of ground for us. So four really good players that we're excited to work with.
What was the task of capitalizing on the momentum of getting to the Final Four? How much do you think, you know, that gave you a boost, if at all? And what was it like kind of capturing that lightning in a bottle there?
Well, I think it's the last 2 years. You know, we've won 60-some games, and the Elite Eight is what really got it going. You know, it enabled us to get Troy and VJ in the class that Abu and Kenny, you know, a good class a year ago. And then, you know, this year, the hype coming into last year and that, you know, if we didn't have a good recruiting year this year, we never were going to have one. And I told that to our staff. I said, fellas, this is a unique opportunity for us. If we don't work our tails off and get ourselves in on, you know, really good prospects and guys that we really feel fit our program, and then we've got nobody to blame but ourselves. You know, like I said, Elite Eight and the Final Four back-to-back years, and three guys that went in the draft and all got guaranteed contracts. We had, you know, a lot of good things to sell, and so if it wasn't going to happen this year, it wasn't going to happen. And Tony Stubblefield did an unbelievable job. Mike Meniga, those guys were out on the road a lot, and you know, encouraged me not to mess things up. And but they did a great job.
I was going to ask about the NBA success, and do you feel like that played a bigger role as well for you guys going out and getting these guys as well?
I think it helps because, you know, Dylan Brooks and Jordan and Tyler, they really moved up the ranks here, you know, made names for themselves. They earned it. You know, I mean, Dylan was runner-up player of the year his sophomore year, and then player of the year this year. And Jordan, the way he came on, and Tyler, and the way he handled himself, you know, those guys made themselves prospects. But you know, the group playing together, I think really helped.
Getting Troy last year helped this year that a five-star had come through and come here, and then when Lou committed, did that maybe help too? Another one, is some of those guys come in? Does it maybe tell the other guys that, hey, I can see some guys there like me or like similar skill set?
It did make a difference. You know, everybody's been killing us on the recruiting trail because we haven't had any one and dones, and you know, they can't coach one and dones. They don't know how to coach one and dones. So we've been getting killed recruiting wise that way. So having an opportunity to work with some of these guys is really fun. Troy's been real easy. You know, I mean, there's no sense of entitlement or anything from him. So, you know, we're hoping that, you know, guys come in and we'll do the same. This is still got to earn it. You still got to work, and I'm sure these guys will.
Dana, with Bol Bol, you mentioned that he had watched Chris Boucher's film and kind of playing style. Can you just talk a little bit more about him? How do you envision him kind of fitting in, and how would you describe what he's like as a player?
I think that he can really run. He's very mobile for his size. Love his ability to block shots and the timing on that. He saw where we allowed Chris to shoot threes and encouraged it, to spread the floor. And he's a good shooter. I think as his shot develops, as his game develops, that'll really be a weapon for him. So, he's a good player, and we're excited about, helping him grow, helping him develop. I think getting stronger. I don't think he's ever going to be big. It's just so we're just going to develop who he is and try to make him a better version of what he is, and that's shooting the ball, handling it. He's a good passer, but that shot blocking is very unique. And he saw what Chris did for us. He saw what Jordan did for us, and I think he really relishes that role of being a rim protector.
Dana, historically, the Oregon basketball program isn't known as one of the storied traditional programs that have had a lot of success. But when you look at the case of someone like Bol Bol, who chooses Oregon over Kentucky, what do you think that does for the trajectory of what this program can be? And what's your biggest selling point to these recruits? Why is Oregon able to get the #1 recruiting class?
Well, the last couple of years we've had some success. We've won more games. We've finished higher than Duke and Kentucky the last 2 years. That's history to those guys. They don't look long all the way back. They look last couple of years. We finished higher than both those guys. So that helps us. I could mention the Elite Eight and the Final Four. 5 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. As those guys have been growing up, we've had a Sweet 16, a Final 8, and a Final 4. So, I think that helps us. I think our style helps us. We still run and press a little bit and push the ball and let guys play. So, I think that really does help us.
Dana, a question about the PK80 with Phil Knight being the inspiration for that. Can you just describe what your relationship has been with Phil over the years, what he's meant to your program and college basketball in general?
Well, he's been unbelievable to me. From the first conversation 7.5 years ago, he's been very supportive. Regardless, he's never put any pressure on us. He's never, he wants us to be successful. Heck, puts his son's name on the arena. There's a certain amount of pride that goes into that, and he wants us to be successful. But I've never felt any pressure or anything like that. And personally, every time I see him, he and Penny are very nice, very supportive, and what he's meant to college basketball. His vision a number of years ago to, get colleges in Nike, to really promote the game. He was a visionary there, and he, when it got started, those original coaches, that was big for the school, that was big for them, and it still is. I mean, it's big for Oregon to have that support, all the programs. With the Nike gear and so forth. So, this is a tribute to him. I think, the 16 schools there are all very honored to be Nike schools, and, I think it'll be a great tournament.
Troy said that you only talked one time about him for the one and done discussion, and that helped him. How much did that come up at all with guys like Bol Bol and Lou King and the other guys?
With Lou, it didn't come up much. Bol, that's just pretty much a foregone conclusion. You know, I mean, he's not going to grow anymore. It's development, you know. So I'd be shocked if you know, he didn't. But we didn't talk about it. You know, I just kind of assumed that. You know, he's a unique talent, and you know, our job is to, you know, get him here in the summer and help him grow as a person. You know, get him some classes, communication classes, things that will help him. Some finance classes that will help him, and then, you know, try to help him as a player. So, you know, to be maturing, growing as a young man, and helping him as a player.